hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LGL Season 6 Power
What's
Rankings.
up, everyone?
It's week 1, and I'm joined by my mod guest, Jaw. Say hi, Jaw.
Hi, Jaw.
Yeah,
I'm the mod guest.
You made that joke. You really did make that joke, didn't you?
I'm the smartest one here.
And, of course, Hydreigon, who has already introduced himself, but say hi again, Hydreigon.
What's up, everyone? I'm Hydreigon.
We got Hydreigon on absolute try-hard PokeTuber mode here. Got the full "What's up?" And I think we're gonna jump right in.
Hate me in.
That's great. I'm proud of you. We're gonna jump right in to number 18, and it's Garrett with a utterly precipitous 15 spot drop.
No kill leader.
No kill leader.
After
so
a
sad.
very rough week.
I think I have to.
Hydreigon had to say something, but then the mic decided he could not.
Well,
The audience is in suspense.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So what I would have to put in about this game is, obviously there was a lot of hacks present. We saw some burns. I think just one burn, and then the freeze at the end, which is clearly what kind of broke Garrett. But I also think this game was played pretty poorly, and I think Jaw is gonna bring some of that up.
Yeah. It was there was some just apparent misplays, especially with even like disregarding all of the hacks, which I don't think the hacks was too much of a deal breaker because, for instance, the burn on Geodude, Fuecoco had Will-O-Wisp, and it would have probably been able to do, like, it could have put that burn pressure on, but Fuecoco, Garrett really didn't have an answer to Fuecoco, really, a good one. It felt like Fuecoco was able to put a lot of pressure with the burning, and there was also the Salandit nasty plot, which was the most questionable part of that match.
Absolutely, knowing the
Earthquake was already revealed, so it wasn't like a out of left field thing. You knew it could have happened, and then it did happen, and then threw away Geodude after, which it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
So there was just like the beginning of the game was fine for Garrett. It made sense, like just setting up Veil and trying to set up with Axew with the Dragon Dance. It made sense, but it just wasn't able to pan out when you had Fuecoco and Snubble there.
He could have played better. 100%.
Definitely could have played better. I also just a couple things. I think this is a pretty good time to note them. First of all, you may notice these teams haven't been updated since the post-draft power rankings.
I feel bad for Garrett. I feel bad for Garrett 100%. He could have won, but like the hack.
I think we disagree there, and especially with Jaw was saying. I think Garrett really messed that game.
No.
And
Daddy bitch.
Snubble performed. Snubble wasn't great. Snubble just did its job. It was in the right place at the right time, really. So what I was saying, the teams haven't been updated since the post-draft power rankings. So if you see any errors, sorry. Let's be a little more cordial when we're doing our matches. Let's not be cheering for people.
Why is there a sad face?
Because
didn't get any kills. So there is no kill leader.
I also thought this was the most uncanny sad face I could find, and I really like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it, and that I do like it. Okay, anyways.
I think we're gonna move on. We don't want an hour and a half long power ranking. Number 17, it's Archaic Falcon, our first person with an actual kill leader. We got Mudbray. Look at him there.
Falcon's opponent was myself.
Yes, which means you can't talk. Bam! You get the ban hammer. So looking at things from Archaic's perspective, this was questionable, but not the worst match, honestly. Like, Archaic brought a lot of good Pokemon. I don't think the team was really fucked up, but there was a lot of moments that were just awkward, I would say. Wattrel was running Acrobatics rather than Hurricane when its special attack is higher. You can just say things, Hydreigon. You're good.
Yes, bro. Mudbray was a carry this match.
Yeah, Mudbray is pretty good this match. I wouldn't call it a carry. It definitely did the most damage. This was just, I think this was just kind of a meh match for Archaic.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, I mentioned Acrobatics. Definitely a mistake there. Purloin kind of just, it ate an explosion. Probably one of the best things on your team to eat that explosion. Rain just wasn't able to be a presence in this game, and I think that was problematic. And Drysking Krogunk was just such a hard wall for Buizel, which represented the bulk of your attacking power. Porygon, it wasn't a bad game for Archaic. It was just it was very decisive.
Pauling shot.
I don't recall if Strudel had. I know it went for a knockoff in Rain Dance, but it could very well could have had parting shot.
The parting shot?
Rain Dance was a
parting shot on Pineco.
Holy shit.
Rain Dance is, I mean, that is kind of the gimmick there. I think we're going to keep moving to number 16, Unlock Jaw from the speech jail. We got Cinnabrath here.
Very real game. Weird game. We're 100% Trick Room, like, it was like Trick Room, like,
Trick Room wasn't a huge presence here. Cinnabrath's team, it kind of makes sense into Cinnabrath's very speedy team. Cinnabrath, I'm actually blanking on a lot of this match, but
Bulbasaur, bro. I know
Bulbasaur was brought.
Yeah, Bulbasaur was missing, and that was probably definitely a mistake.
Weird Ducklet set. Leftovers.
That's right, and
with
we don't have Ducklet on here. Yeah, is Aerial Ace, Aqua Jet, Roost, Defog, which is questionable. It's like those.
Saucy.
Sure, you could call it saucy if you want to make me lose brain cells.
No, Heat Wave on Vulpix. She's like flamethrower, right?
Yeah, Vulpix was a little funky here in a lot of ways.
Energy Ball.
Abra was probably the strongest presence in this match, but it kind of just
Even
got
though it
saddled
just used
by
Energy
Shellos.
Ball. Yeah. Shellos was the main thing, because there's not the only ground. Four Mons on the team were weak to ground.
I love logo.
And the only
His logo
immunity was Ducklet. It is a fun logo.
And I will add, Diglett A's set was kind of cute. It had Sucker Punch and Pursuit, which is kind of cute.
And it did pretty.
Shellos was scary, bro. Shellos scary.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Shellos when we get to Not Shady Kid.
But basically, just Cinnabrath had a hard time breaking through that cello set, and it was kind of tough.
I think we're gonna keep moving on. Number 15. Sorry, number 12. This is a four-way tie. Grimer is here, and he is the kill leader. Geyser was up against Bullet this game. And
he should have had Makuhita. Should have Makuhita.
Makuhita, I believe, was dropped because Makuhita is very bad.
Already got Stuffle, it's fine.
Yeah, the team was like these. It was these 6 minus Wingle. So this was actually I didn't
He has a good Firewater Grass squad. Good Firewater Grass like Wingo.
I believe Wingle. I kind of feel like Wingle was dropped. I don't recall exactly, but not the post-draft power rankings. Cores aren't exactly what we're talking about right now.
Yes, Sticky. You should have brought Sticky Web, to be honest.
I mean, Not Shady was kind of playing into the having the speed disadvantage with that ball toy trick room. I think Sticky Webs would have just exacerbated that. Geyser, I think, played fairly well this game. Kind of gave up Diglett's Sash to handle the Choice Scarf Amora. I don't know if there was a much better way to do that.
I think it was like Specs Amora.
It was Choice Scarf Amora. Yeah, and Diglett. Just say things, man.
Solo even VGC.
Yeah, you probably would. I don't play VGC. The end game.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Torchic was really the only resist for Cutify. Once it started river dancing, it was a threat, and you only had Torchic, who's not a wall at all. It's just a wall by virtue of resisting.
I mean, you do have Grimer, which is neutral and threatens with poison jabs, of course.
It is threatening, but it can.
No, he should draft a Mienfoo. He should draft Mienfoo, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't exactly an option, but sure. The end game was really interesting, and that's kind of more Ballet's thing. Geyser kind of got bowled over near the end of it, and we'll talk about that when we get to Ballet, as I was kind of hinting at. A lot of the hacks kind of went Geyser's favor, but it wasn't a big factor.
Very hacksy game, very hacksy game.
It was moderate in my eyes, but I think this game, there was a lot of kind of shitting on Geyser in the game, so I'll kind of reiterate, be cordial. Grimer also shadow sneaked into a grass type Scraggy when it probably should have gone for the jab. You could have gotten the poison on it, and you would have just been in a better position damage wise. But otherwise, I don't think Geyser played terribly, and is only popping at the bottom of the
punch. Wasn't a misclick of Sundle Punch until
That's right, I actually forgot about that, thanks. He Thunder Punched into the grass Scraggy, which I'm assuming was either a misclick or just a misread, thinking it might have been water. Not entirely sure, but definitely a mistake there. Speaking of mistakes, that'd be a really mean way to transition. Actually, I'm gonna not do that. It is Donut Cat. Yeah, you are really excited for Donut Cat. You want to tell us why?
So, they had a Gen 9 Sprite Edition showdown.
Huh?
No rock
kind of cut out there.
No rock blast. No rock blast on Dwebble. No Zen Headbutt on Sprigatito.
Sprigatito doesn't get Zen Headbutt.
On Squirtle. No Rock Wrecker on.
Okay, that's enough with Rock Wrecker. I'm gonna cut you off there. To be clear to everyone at home, Sprigatito does not get Zen Headbutt. Dwebble was running Rock Slide over Rock Blast, and I don't think Squirtle was here. I'm pretty sure it was Shelder.
Shelder.
Yeah.
Magby.
I don't think Magby was here.
In Season 4, I always win Rock Slide. The other rock.
Yeah, definitely a mistake. Run Rock Blast. It does a lot of damage in this format. This wasn't a horrendous game. I thought Donut's team was fairly balanced and took it to 2. There was just some questionable decisions.
She definitely showed a lot of skill this game.
I don't exactly recall Shelder's position. I know right off the kick, Growlithe missed a head smash, which was unfortunate, into a Moraine. And ended up basically sacking a Sprigatito. That's right, yeah. The Bullet Seed into Shelder. There's a little bit of Rock Blast luck in Cryptos' favor, that's Donut Cat's opponent.
This is one of those games where Hazards was not taken care of, and Toxic Spikes was just kind of left there, and it did
Yeah.
hurt the team pretty rough, especially with Sash.
Dude,
Like Sash Zora at the end, like it just
week
died.
1.
Yeah, I know it is only week 1. I think we're gonna keep moving to the next 12th.
Wait, no. I say arrows there, not the arrow. It's only week 1.
Because they're based off their post-draft power ranking scores. We're gonna go to the next one. It's Smoliv. Smoliv with a pretty big drop here after a 2-0 loss to Gothic.
Smoliv, you suck.
Okay, Hydreigon, none of that. We're not gonna be rude to anybody in this video. This was a really unfortunate game for Smoliv, right? I mean, pretty early on, there was 2 Leaf Storm misses in a row.
Farfetch. No Farfetch, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Farfetched was there.
Farfetch was there.
It did like 45 to a Bug Terra Munchlax. This is a really close game, and those Voltorb Leaf Storm misses were really important early on. Otherwise, I'm not remembering a lot of the mid and late game. I have that tendency to just kind of forget.
Well, I'm pretty sure no sticky.
Sticky webs were not present in this game. There was a Trick Room went up once.
The miss.
And
the miss.
The Leaf Storm misses? Yeah, we talked about that.
There was Dark type Gothita.
Yeah, that was kind of cute. We clearly have very little to talk about here.
On smaller side, it was just kind of. I feel like it's more on the Gothic side.
Yeah, we'll touch a little more. Okay, it's Sage Mode, who lost to Baconator, if I recall.
Yes, choked so hard. He talked to this girl. He choked so hard. He was like, Onyx, like, Onyx, what happened?
Okay, Hydreigon's audio is. Hydreigon's audio is really chugging. But I did kind of catch what he was talking about. There was a moment where Metatite went for a second bulk up expecting an Onyx switch in on a Yanma and ended up getting 2-hit KO'd, which basically lost Sage Mode the game. This was a really tight match.
He could have won. He could have won, bro.
He absolutely could have won.
Ghastly
was like, what a pause in my pants. Like, he would have beat Bacon week 1. Like, imagine Bacon lost week 1.
It would have been.
Anyway.
It's been many seasons. I'm sure he's lost week 1 before. Like the early game was pretty reasonable. I think if I recall, Ghastly kind of got sacked off for basically nothing at one point.
Yeah, it did get sacked off because Baconator's Ponyta with Fire type Flare Blitz. There was nothing that could take it. Nothing resisted it on Sage Mode team. So it
I don't know
if
Ghastly
to run through. And
Lickitung might have been the better sack.
Because it basically Sandshrew died, and then
Quaxley wasn't in this match.
Sage Mode just let Ghastly die before sending out Impidimp and then start setting up screens, which is probably what he should have done first.
Sandshrew also got 2-hit KO'd by Terra Flare Blitz, which was
no Gibble, bro, no Gibble.
Gibble is ass, so I do understand not bringing it.
Dragon Rage, Gibble, Dragon Rage.
That's what we like
oh my god, Dragon Rage! The banned move! Holy shit! You've cracked the Matrix! We're moving on. Tied for 10th, is that right?
It was a 1-0 loss.
But should it be 10? Should it be... No, it is 10, that's right. Mianfu is here. Oh my god, are you gonna have an aneurysm? Go ahead, Mianfu. Oh! Oh!
I hate
Go, go Goofy! Oh! Weibo lost to Ionofentanyl Wrath, who I will continue to call Ionofentanyl Wrath until I am corrected by him.
I hate Weibo.
Okay, Hydreigon, that's very quirky of you. I'm proud of you. Weibo literally just brought his top 6. Mianfu, Carvana, Deer Fighter, Legendary.
Predictable.
This felt like it. It felt like a kind of phoned-in match. No, it wasn't bad, legitimately. Webb's got taken down this match.
Hazard removal actually happened.
Palmy doesn't get revival blessing.
No.
Which is sad, but it is true. If I recall, it was Extreme Speed Dratini actually cleaned up the late game Carvana, which was really interesting.
Aquajet.
Yeah, it's Aquajet and Extreme Speed, double prio.
Greaveyard, so cute. Greaveyard, that's so...
Thank you. I needed that insight that Grivard is in fact so cute. What would I have done without that information? Yeah, Weibo played. This was a fine match with a pretty good end game from Ayano.
Look like Granados with a body people, bro.
I don't recall Ayano's team off the top of my head, but I don't know how Granados would have matched up into it. Let's go to the next one. And it is Hydreigon, which means I will give Hydreigon the floor to kind of talk about their match and what they felt about.
So, I wanted to win, right? But I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to prove to Ima. I wanted to prove that I was a good opponent. No.
Wanted to prove himself.
Wanted to prove himself a strong opponent.
Yeah. There's anything else?
Redemption, bro. Redemption.
Do you have anything you want to say about the game itself?
Also, Peachy, I was air water. Expecting tier water. No tier water. So I lose game because
I am definitely going to put this down in the LGL history books as the glitchiest guest audio of all time. Actually, I'm going to make a point real quick.
How to do it?
Wait.
What's he about to do?
Do you have access to a functioning mic?
Oh God, no. Okay. Well,
fuck off.
You answered yes. I disagree.
Change the answer.
Alright,
anyways. Do you have
Jaw, take the floor.
Okay. Here, for Hydreigon's part of the match against Peachy, Meowth was really strong with Terra normal fake out. It's unfortunate a lot of it got kind of undone. It was a menace. It did a lot to Tink and Tink, which was the only resist. It did 40%.
Yeah.
And when that's your resist, that's rough.
Scary.
It sucks that it kind of got undone partially with like Volibee and Swirlix berry juices, but it still was a big presence the entire match. It just kind of clicked fake out.
Shout out to
which is fair. Which is fair, by the way.
Jamal for helping me mod and team build. Jamal, you're a homie. Helping me mod.
Jamal.
I'm gonna point out it is a little weird to shout out your homie when you lost.
Wow.
Disarming voice on. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Tortuga using Earthquake on Crab
Six
Brawler
of
was
Bionic.
probably not necessary. It
Oh,
allowed it.
I was 6-0 Bionics? Crazy. No one told me. Yeah, Flittle
started
just
to get hit, but yeah. Talk about Flittle.
Yeah, I'll sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's all I had to say.
Flittle Disarming Voice definitely, 40 base power did like 50% to Volibee with just +1. That definitely surprised me. I was expecting a lot less damage off such a weak move. It's not like it was quad super effective either.
Vroom.
Yeah, credit to Varoom. Varoom was a big part in maintaining Swirlix in this match. And it was just generally really solid.
Gossifleur made this a close match,
Yeah, Gossifleur did spin. It's probably the weakest link.
Game was just kind of rough with Steel, Trapinch, and really there wasn't a lot that Hydreigon could have done. Even like looking at the whole team as a whole, there wasn't much it could have done to Steel.
Yeah,
Trapinch.
this is pre-changes.
I'm just gonna say this.
See, you gotta.
In mocks, right? My team is super weak. I got Sweet Back Brawler, right? So I switched out.
Alright, I think we're gonna move on at this point.
Yeah, let's just go on.
And the next person is Peachy, of course, who dropped 7 even on a win. And there's a lot to talk about with Peachy. Hydreigon, you are silenced for this person.
Gosh.
I think. Hydreigon, I'm gonna say this. No one cares. I got 6-0 Bionics. That is accurate. Who asked?
Alright, well, anyway, let's go on.
Yeah.
Talk about
I think Tinkatink kind of got thrown away this match. Early game didn't really provide much, but there was a lot of cool stuff on Peachy's side. Special Swirlix as a better out towards the Varoom matchup was probably... It's hard because it's just a lot weaker than Belly Drum Licks, but I see where it's coming from. On the other hand, there was some excellent picks here. Standard Volibee pulled a lot of weight. Scarf Chinchou was shockingly valuable, and it was very important for outspeeding +2 Tortuga. And then the Terra Steel Trapinch at the end game actually won this game. Being able to resist that double edge was crucial. And so this really, just a really solid matchup, and Peachy made a lot of good plays. A couple, I don't know if the early game was quite as strong as I'd like to see. And that's why Peachy is kind of down here at the middle of the pack, despite winning. Although...
It was still a close game.
Yeah,
being a good opponent, honestly.
Hydreigon, you cannot speak. That is the rules. Ash. It doesn't really matter where you are for the first 2 or 3 power rankings. The first 8 people lost and the second 8 people won. It's not a big deal.
It'll change very quickly.
Or 9 actually. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. We're gonna go on to the other number 8. They were tied, of course. It's Iono Fentanyl Wrath. I refuse. Ian of Eternal Wrath. I refuse. Up 5. Big gains here. Some things that. Yeah, up against Weibo. If I recall, Hippopotas just got murked really early on.
Dupiter, it just died. By Dupiter.
The Hippo Drillbur core didn't do much, but Dratini really showed its power this week. Dratini with the double priority really cleaned up that end game. That really could have gone either way. Oddish and Aeron were here. Timber was, it did the Timber thing. This wasn't a shocking game. Drillbur Spin was able to get rid of webs. We also had the Drain Punch mirror between Timber and Mienfu.
I am surprised how little moves that Yano used. Like, I'm checking at what moves were revealed, and there was only like one move and at most 2 moves revealed for each Mon, and that feels like weird.
That does feel really, especially when you won, right?
Yeah, when you won, and yet you had so little moves revealed. It's odd.
It has intense, like, little kid in a fighting game energy, that just pressing the button, not to put down Ayano, but yeah, and this was a solid enough performance for Ayano.
It was a good match. One of my favorite.
Well,
yeah, I think it was very
matter
good.
too much.
I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Head over to our many fourth. We have a bunch of people tied for 4th here. At the bottom here's Kryptos. If you're wondering how we rank, like, the different people are tied, who shows up, the person who is, if you're tied and you lost to like a harder opponent, you appear higher up on the list. And if you won and you beat a weaker opponent, etc. Or if you won or lost. That's kind of just how we break ties. It's not anything official, but just determines how things show up here. Notably, a good bit of this team's inaccurate. Like, Snubble was in the Jamal game, so obviously that's not here anymore. I remember very little about Kryptos' side of this match.
Ponyard. The Rock Ponyard and fighting Growlithe.
Yes, that was very entertaining. Yeah. It went
more
Rock
fun for Donut Cat, but you know.
Yeah, Rock was questionable as a Terra type. You don't really want to be weak to the same. I mean, it's still weak to the type that Ponyard is the most afraid of. I think Rock probably isn't the call going forward. Picky Peck pulled some weight here, and that's always cool to see. Moraine sat around and did Moraine things. Frigibax was here. That's neat. He was freeze dry and died. I'm gonna go. We're going on. It's Baconator. Baconator, the only person who did not move up or down from the post-draft power rankings after a fairly decisive victory. Well, not decisive. Actually, a fairly narrow victory over Sage Mode. Honestly, Sage Mode probably could have taken that. I don't think
Ponyta was a big.
Oh yeah.
It was there's a reason why it was kill leader. It just kind of went uncontested in this match.
It was definitely the threat, along with Machop to a lesser extent, and then Yanma in the end game. Onyx never came out, so we didn't really see any of that. It was cool seeing Yanma.
I enjoyed the match. It was like,
yeah, it was a pretty good match, fairly enjoyable.
He misplayed. Bacon misplayed. No eel slash in Yanma.
Well, air slash, it would have done. Does steel resist flying? I assume it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So actually, air slash would have choked that match, right? Because air slash is lower base power than Bug Buzz, so yeah. The fact that he used Bug Buzz instead of air slash actually won the game.
Brick Break on Machop was also a really good call to break those screens. It was
definitely
taking down Meditite after.
Bacon has a good team. He has a good team.
Yeah. It even has a drop of milk on it. Moving on. Rounding out our tied for 4th is our biggest riser of this week, Bullet. Bullet's always the biggest riser week 1 because Bullet is really good at the game.
Low.
But their
and power
drafts.
rankings.
So there was a couple cool things going on here from Bullet's side. I don't think this was an amazing game for Bullet. Why not kind of got thrown away for nothing? I don't think
Why wasn't
Cacnea
there?
did much.
Terragrass, Scraggy, Terragrass.
Terragrass Scraggy was clearly the MVP here. Scraggy really cleaned up that end game. Probably saved that end game.
He was
Corphish.
a menace, bro.
Yeah, it was very good. Corphish was very threatening, and Scarfamora was actually very competent. Although it did end up going down relatively quickly. It did require a
He had,
lot
like,
of
Destiny
sacrifice.
on Cacnea, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's Destiny Bond on Cacnea. It didn't amount to anything. Cutiefly was just okay here. Didn't do a lot.
If it had the chance to, it could have put in some serious
Yeah.
damage with Quiver Dance, because
Those
not a
Absolutely.
lot resist it except Torchic.
Sticky web.
Cutiefly does get sticky webs. It's not what he went with for this match. Or she
Dragonette,
went with, pardon me.
Scraggy, and Quiver Dance, Cutiefly were really big threats that Geyser just could not really handle.
Yeah, and then you had the supplementary threats with Corphish and Amora. And then why not in Cacnea we're here too. Speaking of here too,
Best PR. This will be the best power rankings ever.
okay, you can get self-fillating right now. The top of our tied for fourths, it's Gozik.
The sexy dittos.
Yep, we got the sexy dittos. I hate it. Gozik brought the most all-out Trick Room team.
He stole my name. The dope dittos.
Not the same.
Not the same. Skrelp was really good here.
Although, why did you gong shot at the end against a Meowth G?
He did a funny brain not working, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna point that out still, because that was questionable.
Oh, speaking of questionable, Citrus Berry Munchlax. That ain't it, Chief. At best.
Wait, what?
We watched the match. We watched the match together, Hydreigon. Yeah, at worst, it should be running Orin, but it really should have Berry Juice, and that probably would have made this match a little cleaner.
Berry.
Wiki? No. What? Stop it.
Bug did work out to resist.
Kind of? It still took a fuck ton of damage.
45% from Farfetch CC, which is...
that probably says more about Farfetch'd than Munchlax, right?
Probably.
Missy got super lucky dodging those Leaf Storms early on.
And had red card, which was...
funky. Very funky.
It was very funky.
We also had we had the Scarf Glimmet staying in on the ground type and firing off a Dazzling Gleam, which was
not worth it. It was not worth it.
Glimmet, I forgot about that Scarf Glimmet, yeah.
But otherwise, I think Skrelp was a strong performer here, although Skrelp should probably be Krabby. I think Krabby's still available, especially if you're going to do the whole Trick Room thing. I thought he did get Krabby. Never mind. It's fine.
Don't worry.
And then a lot of saying you had Spritzy Bronzer, so you had a lot of bulk. Spritzy provided some damage. I'm going to keep moving on. I'm running out of steam here. Number 3. It's you always hate to see it when they're number 3 and they've dropped one. Huh? Debo? It's not Shady Kid.
Not Shady
Eyes
Kid.
working? Not Shady Kid here. Super strong showing for Shady for sure. Yeah, he did use Trick Room Ball Toy. It was fine.
It was mainly that Shellos that made the kind of match.
Shellos absolutely defined the entire match here. It was Yawn, Amnesia, Earth Power, Recover.
There was really not much that Cinnabrath could do.
Fired off like aerial aces off Ducklet into it, but it just was not cutting it. And it really sat on Abra. It ended up basically trading off with the Terra Dragon what's his name?
did
Tyrant.
enough in this match.
Yeah, Aber just got sat on because of Shellos. Apom was definitely the upfront damage. And that was basically enough between Apom, some Pancham, and then a lot of Shellos. Basically defined this game. If there's anything you two like to add.
Not really, just kind of did it.
Yeah,
Kinda
I'm
did
good
it,
with
Jay.
that. Which means we're going on number 2, Jaw with a 10-point rise, 10 placement rise. Tell us about your match, Jaw.
He went boom, ha ha ha.
He did the boom. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Okay, I do. It's not a lot to really say. Having Krogunk really just put a lot of pressure on Archaic Falcon's team because he just couldn't touch me at all. Couldn't touch Krogunk at all. And with Glameow Fake Out was really useful for me because I was able to stall out turns on Weasel's Time in the Rain, and it just did a lot of damage. I think my team just was uncontested because there wasn't a lot of bulk that I had to deal with. Like, my main concerns were Mudbray, which was handled fairly decently on my side, and then apart from that, I mean, there's just not a lot of bulk. Otherwise, I was just kind of able to beat through the team.
Yeah.
And Pineco went boom, and it probably didn't even need to. I was able to boom because there was nothing to resist it, and nothing to take it at all. Even after a parting shot, just nothing could take it. So
Yeah.
I just kind of was able to sit on the team and just kind of do damage. And yeah, that was just kind of it. I mean, yeah.
I thought it was a super cohesive team, very clean match. Not a lot to talk about, just a pretty clean deconstruction of Archaic. Very one-sided, yeah.
Match.
And then number 1, of course, is Jamal.
The most one-sided match.
Yeah, the most one-sided. Again, Snubble was in the right place at the right time. It was really God, what was the defining force in that? Fuecoco. That's right. Fuecoco really defined this match. Yeah.
Put a lot of burn pressure.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Jamal's team is no longer on here, so it's been changed a lot.
He traded out Ponyta and like.
Yeah, and Ponyta's already gone on here. Sandygast was a presence that I recall.
He made a lot of trades
this
season. Probably the most traded.
Yeah, a lot of trades here. But between getting some good luck and making a lot of misplays, yeah, it was just a very.
I feel bad for Garrett. I'm not gonna lie.
It's definitely a bit demoralizing. And we'll talk a little bit about that when we go to stats and facts.
Daddy, bitch, snub daddy.
Okay, that's enough. Garrett versus Jamal, notably the first 6-0 in a Week 1 match in the history of the LGL, excluding Season 1. Yeah.
Legit?
Excluding... Yes, legit. And then I'll just quickly run through the stats, and then we'll do Match of the Week. So, this was a very Drain Punch heavy week. We had a lot of Drain Punches getting thrown around between that Scraggy, the Miento, and the Timber. Krogunk was also there. And we've overseen, of course, the most Drain Punches. Set of the week.
Brawler, right?
Yeah, Brawler also. Not Shady Kids Shellos was the easy set of the week. I mean, it just sat on Cinera's team. And then the Garrett's Blunder of the week. Meowth was good. It did lose though. Garrett is Garrett's blunder of the week. Losing
Yeah.
Salandit and then the Geodude is rough.
EQ was
and
already
then-
revealed. Why'd you do it? Why'd you nasty
Yeah.
plot on the Snubble? Okay, anyways.
We're gonna go from the bottom up on the matches of the week. So, Jaw, what's your match of the week
He
and
could
why?
have played battle. Garrett could have definitely played battle.
Yes, you could have, but you can talk about that for your match of the week. I am going to talk about my match of the week, which was the Weibo and Yano of Entinel Wrath. I thought that I put down that match before even realizing the whole Yano's team, or Yano did not use a lot of moves, and now looking at that again, it's like, wow, he really did not use a lot of moves. I think the Dratini priority was really fun to see. It's interesting to see the new player really taking down Weibo, who is well established in this league and has a really
Yeah.
strong team, but using not a lot of options, still managed to pull through, and it's an impressive showing. But that's not to say that Weibo did bad at all, because Weibo still did excellently. It was a 1-0 match, so on both sides it was still really impressive.
Absolutely. Hydreigon, tell us a little bit about your match of the week.
Jamal full speed about it. Yeah. Your match of the week.
I cannot corroborate that.
Big match.
If I recall, you put that, but sure. Anything else you'd like to add?
Jamal forced me to put it there. Jamal forced.
Okay. My match of the week was Hydreigon versus Peachy. The other 1-0, Jaw did actually pick first. I probably would have picked Weibo versus Ian too.
Sorry about it.
But this was a really strong match. On both sides, it was close. There's some really interesting sets, especially from Peachy. And I think it was clearly the best. I think it was clearly a very strong and interesting match.
I proved myself.
Okay. And, well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. That's it! Go away!